Sarah opens her bank statement on the kitchen table. It's 8 o'clock on a Friday morning. She has a stable job, health insurance, car paid off, a 401k that she contributes to every month without fail. On the outside, everything seems to be working. The statement shows $238 of available balance, and the month has barely begun. She's not irresponsible. She never has been. She pays her bills on time. She's never missed a payment. She's worked at the same company for 11 years. And yet, every first week of the month, there's this moment, this statement, this number that doesn't match the narrative that she's on the right track. She closes the app, opens it again. The number doesn't change. Most people in this situation start looking for the mistake, the coffee they drank every day, the subscription they forgot to cancel, the dinner out that shouldn't have happened. They look for the mistake because they believe there is a mistake, that somewhere there's a loophole where the money is escaping, and if they find that loophole, everything will be solved. But what if there is no loophole? What if the problem isn't a mistake you made, but a level at which you're operating with rules that were never designed to help you move forward? My name is Jack, and I spend a lot of time thinking about why financially responsible people reach the end of each month feeling like they're losing a battle they shouldn't be losing. If you've done everything you've been told to do and the numbers still don't add up the way they should, subscribe to the channel because this video is exactly about that. Before we begin, I am not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. And I'm not here to tell you that you're doing everything wrong. I'm here to show you that financial responsibility and financial stability are completely different things. And confusing the two is why so many responsible people get stuck. A map appears drawn on the whiteboard. Not a ladder this time. A map with different regions. Each region has specific terrain, specific rules, tools that work within it and don't work outside. Marcus appears on the map with a compass in his hand. The compass is working perfectly. The problem is that he's using it in terrain where north doesn't mean what he thinks it means. The first level where most people get stuck without realizing it has a simple name: optimization without leverage, income between $40,000 and $70,000 a year. The person does everything right within their capabilities, cuts unnecessary expenses, contributes to the 401k until the employer matches, has a small reserve, pays bills on time, and at the end of the month, little or nothing is left over. They interpret this as a sign that they need to cut more, optimize more, be more disciplined. A character appears on the whiteboard squeezing an orange, squeezes hard. Some juice comes out, squeezes more, less comes out. Squeezes until the orange is completely dry. The problem wasn't the squeezing technique, it was the size of the orange. There's a mathematical ceiling to how much optimization solves. With $45,000 of gross income in the United States, after federal tax, state tax, health insurance, and basic fixed costs of housing and transportation in a middle-cost city, the margin available for savings and investment rarely exceeds 8 to 12% of net income. That represents between $250 and $400 per month. Cutting out breakfast doesn't significantly move that number. Canceling the gym doesn't change the trajectory. The leverage that transforms this level doesn't come from cuts. It comes from increased income. And increased income at this level almost always requires a development decision that most people postpone because it seems too far removed from the immediate problem. A certification, a specific skill that the market pays more for, a promotion conversation that was never initiated. The Bureau of Labor Statistics shows that the lifetime income difference between people with specific professional certifications and people without them in the same field exceeds $300,000 on average. Not because some are smarter, but because a development decision made at a given moment changed the ceiling of the level at which they operate. The second level, where most people get stuck, is more comfortable and therefore more dangerous. Income between $70,000 and $120,000 a year. Life has gotten better. The apartment has gotten bigger. The car is newer. Vacations exist, and the money left over is still scarce. Not because the salary hasn't grown, because the lifestyle has grown at the same speed or faster. Sarah appears again. She received a promotion 2 years ago. her income went from $68,000 to $94,000 a year, $26,000 more in gross annual income. She calculated that after taxes, this would represent about $1,500 more per month, and she thought about what to do with that money for approximately 3 days. After that, the lifestyle absorbed everything organically and silently without any conscious decision. The mechanism that makes this happen isn't weakness of character. It's hedonic adaptation combined with upward social reference. When rent goes up, the reference group changes. Co-workers at the new level have better cars, bigger apartments, more expensive vacations. The point of comparison shifts upward. What once seemed like luxury starts to seem standard, and what was once standard starts to seem insufficient. This process is automatic, invisible, and devastatingly efficient at consuming any margin that the income increase created. A study by the National Bureau of Economic Research showed that for every additional dollar of rent, Americans in the $70,000 to $150,000 range per year save on average less than 20 cents. The other 80 cents or more are absorbed by lifestyle expansion within 12 months. The way out requires a decision that goes against the instinct to arrive. Treat the rent increase as invisible for at least a year. Lifestyle freezes where it was. The entire increase goes into automated investment before appearing in the checking account. The decision is made once. The system executes itself after that. The third level, where most people get stuck, is the only one that appears prosperous on the outside but stagnant on the inside. Income above $120,000 a year, home ownership, international vacations, children in private school, an investment portfolio that exists but isn't growing at the speed it should given the available income. Marcus appears. He earns $142,000 a year. He has a net worth of $230,000 after 12 years of work. The math doesn't add up. With that income and that time, his net worth should be significantly higher. He knows this. But when he looks at where the money went, each item makes sense in isolation. The mortgage was necessary. The children's schooling is a priority. The car was reasonable for his level. The vacations were deserved. No single decision was an obvious mistake. The combination of these decisions created a much slower accumulation trajectory than his income allowed. The trap at this level has a name that sounds positive: maximizing present quality of life. It's the implicit belief that income level justifies consumption level, that you've reached a point where you can have the good things without compromising the future. This belief is partially true and completely dangerous, because the true part acts as an anesthetic for the dangerous part. Two graphs appear side by side on the whiteboard. In the first, the wealth trajectory of someone with an income of $140,000 who consistently directs 20% to investment over 20 years with an average return of 7% per year. The final number exceeds $1,800,000. In the second graph, the trajectory of someone with the same income who directs 8%, which is closer to the real average for this group according to Federal Reserve data. The final number is $730,000. The difference is not in effort, it's in the percentage of allocation, and the percentage of allocation is determined by the belief about what the income level justifies spending. The fourth level, where most people get stuck, is the most invisible of all because it looks exactly like doing the right thing. Net worth between $100,000 and $300,000. Investments in index funds. Roth IRA contributed every year. 401k maximum. The person reads about finance, follows the market, makes informed decisions. And yet, their net worth grows slower than the numbers should indicate. The problem is almost never in the investments themselves. It's in what happens in parallel. A character appears on the whiteboard, filling a bucket with water. The bucket is half full, but it has 3 small holes in the side. Each hole is small. The sum of these holes empties the bucket faster than the water enters. The 3 most common pitfalls at this level are unoptimized taxes, poorly structured insurance, and low-urgency, high-interest debt. Unoptimized taxes mean paying more tax than the law requires due to a lack of structure, not a lack of income. The difference between a basic tax strategy and no strategy can represent between $5,000 and $15,000 per year, depending on the situation. Over 20 years with reinvestment, This compounded value represents between $200,000 and $500,000 of difference in final net worth. Poorly structured insurance means having the wrong coverage for your current life stage, paying for protection that doesn't cover the real risk, or without protection for the risk that could destroy everything. Low urgency, high-interest debt means debt that doesn't hurt enough to create urgency, but silently consumes investment returns every month. A credit card with 18% annual interest, while investments yield 7%, is not balanced. It's a guaranteed net loss of 11% per year on the amount held in debt. The solution is to close the holes before increasing the inflow. Order matters more than intensity. The fifth level, where most people get stuck, is the only one that seems like philosophy but is actually mathematics. A net worth exceeding $300,000. The person has built something real, the systems work, and then the question arises that no one can answer precisely: how much is enough? Not as a spiritual exercise, but as a concrete financial question. Because without a clear answer to this question, two things happen simultaneously and in opposite directions. Some people stop accumulating too early because they felt they had arrived somewhere without having calculated if they actually got there. Others continue accumulating indefinitely because they never defined the number, and accumulating became the goal instead of the means to the goal. Sarah appears, looking at her portfolio. $480,000. She works 60 hours a week. She earns very well. And she doesn't know if she can stop working at this pace in 10 years, or if she'll need 20. The uncertainty isn't mathematical. She has access to calculators. The uncertainty is about the target number, about the lifestyle she wants to have afterward, about the health expenses she can't predict, about whether her children will need financial help. Without these definitions, the portfolio has no destination. And a portfolio without a destination is like driving on a map without a marker showing where you want to go. You might be going in the right direction or the wrong direction, and there's no way to know. The solution is the exercise that most people postpone because it seems premature, defining the number, not perfectly, in good faith. What lifestyle do you want to have? How much does that lifestyle cost per year? How many years of expenses does the portfolio need to cover? What is a safe withdrawal rate given the horizon? This calculation isn't definitive. It will change. But having a specific target, even an imperfect one, changes the quality of each allocation decision that comes after. Two paths appear on the whiteboard, all stemming from the same point. Same income, same starting point, same financial responsibility. On one path, the person continues applying the tools from the previous level to the current level. They cut more when they should be earning more. They optimize more when they should be leveraging more. They accumulate more when they should be setting a destination. On the other path, the person learns to diagnose which level they are operating at and applies the specific tools for that level. They no longer work. They work in the right direction towards where they are. 10 years later, the two are in completely different places. Not because one was more responsible, both were responsible. The difference is that one understood that financial responsibility without a level assessment is effort without direction. And effort without direction, however intense, leads nowhere specific. Sarah closes the bank statement. $238. The number hasn't changed, but the question she asks about it has changed. Before, she asked what I cut wrong this month. Now she asks at what level I'm operating and what the specific leverage is for that level that I haven't yet triggered. These are completely different questions, and different questions lead to completely different places. Knowing where you are is the first step. Knowing which tool is right for your current level is a different conversation, and it's difficult to have that conversation alone with just one video.